Hello, my name is Ryan, and I am excited to do this book talk on this book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Many of you guys probably already heard of this book, and it's pretty famous and known to be filled with inspirational quotes. The genre of The Alchemist is a novel, and the subgenre is drama and fan fiction. I'm going to be trying to explain The Alchemist without giving too much information and spoiling the story. So, pretty much it's this main character named Santiago, and most for the most part, he is the only person whose point of view we are really hearing. And in the beginning of the story, it tells us that Santiago had a dream of him finding a treasure buried in the sand, and his this dream made him start to go out his way on a journey to find this treasure. So right here on the left side we have the book cover of The Alchemist, and on the right side we have the author's picture. A little something about Paulo is that he was born on August 24th, 1947 in Brazil, and he wrote 33 book series. And out of the books that he wrote, The Alchemist was the most sold copies. So a quote that really stood out to me is is that the secret is here in the present. If you pay attention to the present, you can improve upon it, and if you improve on the present, what comes later will also be better. Right here, I feel like this quote is the reason it stood out is because it's so true that the way to succeed is in the present, because when you're younger, you're supposed to be gaining experience and also learning the mistakes that you have done. And then in the future, later on, you will start to be way better and you will be improved and you'll like pretty much be ready for anything. So this journey on his way to Egypt, where the treasure is, he meets so many amazing people that give him tips and a better understanding of the real world and his journey. Santiago was the protagonist, like the main character, and he was a young adventurous determined to fulfill his adventure. Pretty much, he gave his for this adventure he gave his current life and explored the ways from Spain to Egypt to find the treasure, and he was determined to do it. One of the people that he like talked to and met was the Crystal Merch. The Crystal Merch helped Santiago very much by giving him a job just to make a bit money to return back to Andalusia, and they both like made each other a deal where the merch provided Santiago with the job just to help him, while Santiago gave the crystal merch ideas to benefit his business because he was also struggling at the time. Two more characters that were introduced were the Englishman and the Melchizedek. The Melchizedek was the old man to Santiago, and he seemed very mystery and like wise, and he doesn't come up very often, but he's like the one. He was that one character that was like in first introduced in the beginning, and throughout the story, he always kept in mind of Santiago. So pretty much, he was like a godfather to him. Uh, Another character that was added was the Englishman. The Englishman is a pretty knowledge man or dude, and he was determined. He was pretty much like Santiago. He had like a twin, but instead their their personalities were like extremely different. Cause the Englishman The Englishman isn't really a social guy, and rather instead of like going out and exploring, he would be at home like reading books instead of interacting with anybody. And on the other hand, Santiago is one of those people where he just loves to go out, explore, and meet new people. But they have like different. They also have different goals, and yeah. So the setting, it wasn't really clear on where it was. It was of course taken in Spain, where Santiago was originally born in a small nation in Andalusia. After that, Santiago went into a city named Tanger and did some exploring that was located in Mar Morcoa, which is in the North Africa. And eventually he goes to the Sahara Desert just to try to find the treasure. So the theme that I personally picked out was to pursue your personal goals and your legend and overcoming fear. Throughout the story, Santiago had left his hometown and his family just to go out on his journey and to find the treasure. Throughout his journey, he meets so many good people that helped him out and to give like a better understanding. And the reason I picked overcoming fear is because a common thing throughout the book, like many people suffer with fear. Some kind of fears, the reason many people like failed following their goals is because of fear. Some of the fears people develop stop them from following and like pursuing their goals in life. And throughout the story, Santiago had ran some like difficult obstacles, but all these obstacles somehow had to be like connected to him learning and stuff like that. The plot of the story would have to be Santiago abandoning his hometown, which was in Spain, and his family, just to go on an adventure, just to find a treasure in Egypt that he keeps envisioning. And throughout his adventure, he had some like mini ups and downs. For example, he was meeting new people, falling in love, and developing as a person and finding out who he really is and what he is truly desired to do. Santiago had gained a lot of experience going through this adventure. He met so many like extremely important people, like the Englishman, Fatima, which he loved, the shopkeeper, which was like his boss and employee, and the alchemist. So he learned a lot just completing his. For example, the crystal merchant showed him how hard it is to make money and that money is actually valuable and it can do stuff and it could like help out. He realized that he had made a sacrifice. He made like some sacrifice, some things, but he would understand if it was destiny or not. At this point, he just had to be patient and everything would like come his way. So, in conclusion, overall, The Alchemist, I highly recommend this book if you're like struggling and trying to do stuff, or just like if you're bored and like would just love reading. I recommend this book being the first book you should read. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Um, it- I feel like this book can relate to some people and help people out and make like better decisions. The lesson within the story also really represents ourselves, like as students in school or like working. And within the story, it also it starts to become a common conflict people have, and these lessons Santiago have learned taught us ways to go through and to keep pushing instead of giving up. And yeah, that's pretty much what The Alchemist is. And thank you.